Internet. All right. What about now? Can you hear me now, Will?
Yeah, it just came on.
All right. Excellent. Let me go to screen share. All right. So one of the things that I started doing this, and I got away from it by accident, so it wasn't intentional, but we wanted to be a force for good in our local community by supporting local businesses. So we did it one week, and I was all excited about it, and then I forgot. So I'm human, and I want to bring it back tonight. So I asked you guys if you have a local business that you either know, a family member that owns, someone that maybe it's a company that you really like. I like sake, don't get me wrong, but I think if we're going to do a restaurant that we go to, I would do this Thai restaurant I go to all the time. That is Bangkok Siam, and they're awesome, and I support them. He's a local business owner, and it'd be amazing. But it doesn't have to be one that I know. I was hoping that one of you guys would respond on the WhatsApp group with like one of your customers' businesses or something. So does anybody have any other suggestions?
I mean, I have some customers that have businesses I can like, not off the top of my head.
Not off the top of your head. Any of your family members own a business?
Oh, my dad owns a business.
Yeah? So pitch it to us real quick, 30 seconds. Why should we like that one?
Well, my dad owns a medical business. It's not really for teenagers, I don't know. It's like a hormone replacement therapy. He owns a business though. It's over down in Miami. It's a big, then up in Boston. It's really big. Oh, I guess it isn't local. I would do that. My bad. No type bitch. Sorry guys.
Cool. So give you a spotlight. Why don't we like this one over here? Okay. We'll go. I didn't know it was in Miami. So let's do this one. Cool. Bangkok Thai restaurant over here. If you just find them on Google, and then if someone can find it, post it on WhatsApp group, and then what we'll do is we'll just give them a rating, a 5-star review. If you don't feel comfortable giving a 5-star review, no big deal. But we want to do this each week and support local businesses because I don't know about you guys, but my wife and I look at reviews all the time, and that's how we figure out on whether or not we want to do business with that company. And each week, if we get 10 or 12 or 15 increases on some of these local businesses in the area, it can make a big difference. So us as a little organization can make a really big impact on some of the local businesses in the area. So each week, if you have a business owner that is your customer or a family member, bring them in. We did Amanda's mom. We rated hers, and she got an increase. I don't know, it was a couple ratings higher. It increases their Google search. It increases their, just everything. So with that being said, did anybody find it?
I did.
Cool. You put it on the WhatsApp group. Excellent. So that'd be great. That'd be great. So that way, they could get a little bit of love and a couple of reviews. I don't know if it's on Facebook, Google, your choice. So I wanted to do something different for tonight for the What's Hot, What Do We Appreciate. I wanted to add a little element to it, and it's going to get you guys thinking a little bit. And the element I want to add to it this week is, instead of What's Hot, We Appreciate, I'm totally down for the What I Appreciate part, but I want your biggest lesson that you learned this week. Biggest lesson you learned this week. So for this one, I'm going to have you take out pen and paper. So everyone grab pen and paper. And I want you to write down so that way we could stick and move and make it pretty quick. So I want you to write down what you're grateful for, like what's the number one thing that you appreciate right now in life. But I want you to answer the question, what was the biggest lesson that I learned in this last week since we all were together? What's the biggest lesson that I learned since last week since we were all together? Biggest lesson I learned since last week. Cool? Got it? All right. So we'll start with Ella. We'll go down the line. What's hot? What do you appreciate? Well, ideally, we keep it under 10, 12 seconds if we can, and then we'll stick and move. So what's hot? What do you appreciate? What's the biggest lesson you learned so far this week? And let me take it off of this, and then we'll turn this around so that way people at home can see what we're doing. And bang.
What's hot is it's spring break right now, and I really appreciate being able to go away this past weekend with my friends, have a good time. And the biggest lesson that I learned was really one of the best practices from last week was making jokes with your customers. And I just did that on my phone time, and it helped a lot with this lady I've been trying to get with for a while.
Nice. Love that. Excellent. Miss Amanda. We'll go Amanda, Brenda, and then Mason.
My biggest lesson this week didn't really have much to do with business, but just that you really can't change people, even the ones that you love and that love you. And that what I appreciate is my family.
Love it.
Well, the biggest thing I got out of this week is I'm reading a book called What's So Amazing About Grace. And the really thing that it struck me is that resonated. And so many people text me about feeling that there wasn't enough forgiveness or kindnesses in their lives. And
excellent.
The author was a preacher said that the last place you're going to find grace is in a church.
Huh?
I thought that was pretty striking.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Thanks for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Mason, what's up? We appreciate biggest lesson this week.
All right, what's hot? I hit my 35% promotion, which is pretty hot.
Yeah, you did.
Hey.
And biggest lesson, being more organized and hard working is going to pay off, especially with this cut job. So.
Excellent. Love it. What's that we appreciate? We'll go RJ and then we'll go to Saf and go down the second row.
What's hot is I'm $82 away from a Dirty 30 promotion, and I have 4 appointments set up for this week. But the biggest lesson I learned doesn't really have to do with Cutco, but I'm reading a book called Emotional Intelligence by I think you read it. It's a great book.
2.0, right?
Yeah, I think so. And basically, like some of the things that I'm learning in there, I could feel like you can implement into an appointment. Where like if you're able to connect with someone, you're able to build rapport a whole lot more and make it more of a friendship than an appointment. Just from using some of the tactics that I learned from that book.
And if any of you guys want the audiobook on that, WhatsApp me right now and I'll send you a link where you can download it for free. So I have that audiobook for free. I could hook you guys up. If you're interested, send me a direct message on WhatsApp and I'll send you guys the link so you can download it. So fantastic book. I used to have a copy in the bathroom, but someone took it and never returned it. So really good book. It's called EQ, Emotional Intelligence 2.0. Fantastic book. So great read. Good for you, junior in high school, reading that book. Saf, what's hot? What do you appreciate? And what biggest lesson this week?
What's hot is pretty much spring break next week, and biggest lesson I've learned is making time for certain things and managing time the right way.
Excellent. Love that. So we'll go Brandon, then we'll go to Blake, and then we'll go over to Ryan. What's hot? What do you appreciate? And biggest lesson you learned this past week?
What's hot is I have an appointment that won't flag on me this time.
All right.
What was the
Biggest lesson you learned this week?
To slow down when I'm on the phone with people. Don't just try to rush it all out.
Hey, it's a big lesson. Love that. Thanks for sharing. We'll go Blake, Ryan.
What's hot is that like my first week, my first sale, I made like $500. Well, I sold $500 in Cutco, so I'm really proud of that. And what I learned while working here is that you always got to stay positive, even if like people just flat out reject you during the calls. You just got to be like, all right, cool, and then just move on.
Stay focused, yeah.
Stay
So who
focused.
cares who's next? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? Who cares who's next? Right. That's it. That's it. Love that. So we'll go Ryan, and then Ben. You can share what do you appreciate in life and biggest lesson you learned this week, please.
So what's hot is I have 5 appointments set up ahead of me, so I'm really excited about that. So
Nice.
The next couple days, and then one for Tuesday of next week when I go back to school.
Love that.
And what I've learned is to definitely plan better, because I may or may not have forgotten where we were located here, and might have gotten a bit lost, but and that's why
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, good. Love that. Be prepared. Be organized. Ben, what's hot? We appreciate anything in life. Biggest lesson you learned this week?
I just got back from a college golf tournament in Duran, and my biggest lesson this week is patience.
Patience, big lesson. And congrats hitting a 74 on 54 holes of golf, huh?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Well, it was one of the rounds.
Oh, one of the rounds, one of the 18. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. Oh yeah, 74. I thought it was like an average or something like that, but one of the 18s. That makes sense. 76, amazing. Cassie, what's up? What do you appreciate? And what biggest lesson this week? We'll go Cassie, Jose, then we'll go to Cody, and then we'll wrap up with Mr. Mark in the back.
what's hot was my 18th birthday was this past weekend, so I had a good time with family and friends.
Yeah.
Biggest lesson I learned this week is just if you promise to do something, whether it's like yourself or somebody else, just follow through with it.
Love that.
The video was pretty.
Did you watch the video? Anybody else watch the video? Love that. A couple of you guys didn't post light bulbs, man. I was hoping you guys would post some. So we'll talk about that briefly tonight. Jose, what do you appreciate biggest lesson this week?
So last night my home care set came in, so not a good show it. all the pieces in real life.
Oh yeah, that's hot.
And the biggest lesson is be confident in the prices and be patient when you're moving down the sets.
Yeah, that's big. Drop down's big. Love that. Cody, then Mark will wrap up.
What's hot is I made a digs for your AU basketball team this week, and
Nice.
the biggest lesson is demo is a conversation, not organization.
That's a big one. Love that. And Mark, please take us home.
What's hot is spring break and everyone else when people high school students spring break. And lesson is that no one's gonna do anything for you. So if you want something in your life, you have to actually go out and do it. So that sounds good.
So if you want something in your life, you have to go out and get it because no one's going to do things for you. Yeah, you got to be self-resilient, self-reliant. Love that. I appreciate it, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and I have a couple things on my mind. That what's hot is I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys making us look good because we blew out the competition last week. Blake Hess is a great manager, no doubt, but we crushed them. I don't know exactly what the total was, but looks like actually we didn't crush them by much. They did $8,300. We did $12,000. So I don't know how much of that was new business. So, but I believe after tabs tomorrow we'll know whether or not we advanced to the second round. I believe we advanced to the second round. So kudos to you guys for stepping up last week and making some magic happen, which is exciting. I also appreciate our team. If this is our divisional report, and our divisional report right now, you can see how many Clearwater game changers are on the division. So this is top ranked in our entire Florida Gulf division. So that's the Tampa Bay area up to Tallahassee. So kudos to you guys for really representing the Clearwater game changers. I also appreciate some time with Ryan. Ryan and I got a chance to catch up and do some planning and do her Cutco through college experience. Snapped a good shot right there, which is cool. So we mapped out Cutco through college, and it was really cool to connect. And then we also hit some balls this morning, and Ben helped me fix my swing and was crushing his ball, man. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, that's Coach Ben. So Coach Ben. And what's also exciting is that's going to help me for when Mr. Gamboa is coming to town because we're going to play around the golf on that Wednesday morning. So that way I'm prepared for Mr. Gamboa. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate our key staff. Last week, our key staff combined to really step up and separate themselves from the rest of the pack. I mean, our key staff last week between Trevante, RJ, and Mason really did a great job. You guys combined to sell almost $4,000 last week. So $4,000 between our key staff last week. So I want to give some shout outs to a couple of you. We had on the newsletter, we had a front page with Dylan, Mason, and Luke, who is Mason's friend, on the front page of the newsletter last week. And then on the second page of the newsletter, we had everyone else that was there, which was Colin, RJ, and Trevante, which is pretty exciting. So I wanted to come to a couple of you guys for some best practices. So Mason, you know, you've been consistently on the sales report. I'll also ask RJ. Luke is at a soccer game, and then Colin has a lacrosse game. But I wanted to ask you guys. I mean, you're on the newsletter week in, week out. If anybody in this room, this is where you might want to reach for a pen. The two of you guys doing a great job. Doing a great job. Right now, RJ, you've combined for $1,500 between the last 2 weeks. And Mason, obviously, 66 sales. You're at $22,000. Top 10 representative in all of Vector Marketing right now. What would you say are some best practices from on how do you get on this newsletter each week, week in and week out?
Probably one of them is always be calling because like you don't always have a good phone jam. So like this week and last week wasn't a good phone jam for me. I only got 4 appointments. So tomorrow after school, probably make a couple calls, book up a couple appointments, and then sell over 1,000 at least each week.
Heck yeah.
That's always the goal.
And anything in particular that you do on those appointments to sell over $1,000 that might help anybody in the room?
I really effectively drop down. I go really slow, especially after the homemaker and after the galley. Each starter set, I don't like give up. They're gonna buy something, so I lay out all the pieces for each one pretty much. Just slowly talk about all of them, and then if they don't want one, you then drop down again, customize their own set. That's happened to me a couple times where someone's bought 5, maybe 4 pieces instead of like 1 or a peeler or something like that. I
love that. And Jose, you could do that now. Now that you have a homemaker set, you can say these 5 items here, this is the essentials. These 4 items here, this is going to be a studio set.
And that makes it so much easier.
I really like that move.
Get the homemaker, pieces, you sell so many more.
So for those of you guys still in your fast start, 3K, right? 3K gets you the homemaker set. So just something to think about, which is awesome. So great best practice. And last week, just so you know, also earning over a $700 paycheck, $784, getting a 5% bonus, which is pretty exciting. So kudos to you. Let's give Mason a big round of applause. Great job, man. All right, that was a golf clap, and that sucked. Let's do it one more time. Let's give Mason a big round of applause. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. RJ, what would you say? $1,500 over the last 2 weeks, man.
I would basically just say setting a goal and sticking with it. Like it's as simple as that. And also, like last week we talked about the procrastination thing, where like however far away something is, the longer you plan to wait to do it, if that makes sense, the less likely you'll actually do it. So instead of saying, oh, I'll do it Monday, and then Monday comes, you're like, oh, whatever, just do it right now. Set your appointments right now if you don't already have what you want to, set up.
So when you decide to act.
Yeah, exactly.
So is that, if I'm hearing you right?
Yeah.
I would write that down. I love that tip. When you decide you're going to do something, act. So as soon as you decide, you follow it up with an act right away. And there's 2 types of actions. How many types of actions? 2. Just want to make sure you guys are paying attention. There's a small action and a massive action. There's a small action and a massive action. So if you decide I'm going to save money, the small action is, put like $10 away. Massive action is open up a savings account and dump $100 in there or something like that, right? Small action might be, I want to lose weight. Small action, I'm going to clean out the fridge. Everything that doesn't serve my body, I'm going to clean it out. Massive action, hire a personal trainer. Something like that. You guys follow me? So it's a small action, massive action. You do that. Anytime you decide, immediate action. That's a great, great piece of advice. So kudos to you, RJ, getting on the regional newsletter last week and earning 25% of what you sold. So as a part-time college or high school kid, shoot, you're not even in college. So high school kid, the last 2 weeks, 25% of about $1,500. So you made about $300 the last 2 weeks, somewhere in that range, which is pretty solid. Working around theater, camps, working out for football, basketball, and going to high school, which is pretty exciting. So kudos to you. Way to make it happen and get it done. Let's give RJ a big round of applause. So excellent stuff. And that's why these guys are really, being considered for assistant manager opportunities, search consultant opportunities. I mean, you can see they're getting it done. Same training class too, right?
Yeah.
Yep, same training class, really getting it done, which is exciting. So I know last week we also had Trey and Luke and Colin also on the newsletters, but those guys are excused just because they gave me a notice. I also want to recognize Mason for officially getting the President's Club letter. So it came in the mail. So President's Club is a huge thing. I talk about it in training. It's a certificate of accomplishment along with a hand-signed letter of recommendation from the CEO of the company. As soon as you hit 30% commissions, 10K for a campaign, you'll get one of these in the mail. So I'll get it in the mail and then I give it to you, which is pretty exciting. So since you hit it a couple weeks ago, I have it here for you, set aside, and this is for you, brother. So great job, man. Let's give Mason one more. So what you want to do is you can put this right in your blue book. So instead of pointing to the generic one that I give you guys in your blue book, you have yours. Now here's the challenge for you, Mason, is I won this 13 times as a college kid. So what I did as a college kid is I made my benchmark every single semester is to hit President's Club. So that's it. Like I had to sell enough to hit President's Club. Here's what's cool. All of you guys in this room, you think you have to sell 10 grand because that's my expectation for you. But realistically, all you have to do between the months of March and April right here, all you got to do is sell $4,000. So all of March, all of April, $4,000, you get President's Club. You could be at $0 right now and you'll hit President's Club. If you're at 6K, say you started in February, you get 6K and you'll get your letter of recommendation, which is pretty exciting. So if you're at 0 right now, I would set a goal, sell at least $4,000 between March and April. It's about $500 a week, and you will get that letter of recommendation from the president of the company. I would not quit this job until you get that. That way you could leave here with something tangible. The experience is fantastic. The resume is great. But now you have something tangible to bring in your portfolios after you're done working with the company. I also want to recognize a couple of you guys. This is for non-fast starters, but this would be Mason, Ella, Amanda. you guys are already have some sales under your belt. $1,500, you win your favorite piece of Cutco. $3,000, you get the division feast with Jeff, and $4,500 based on you're halfway there, you win a gourmet set, which is pretty hot. So pretty cool stuff there. I also want to recognize our team sales contest finished up. So Mason pulled it out the last little bit with one friend. That Luke last week won you your choice. So what do you guys think Mason should pick? He had a choice of anything on the whole screen. The whole thing, he had his choice of anything on the screen.
Did he pick Bitcoin?
Pick Universal.
So I'm gonna hook him up. I'm gonna hook him up with Bitcoin anyway.
Yeah, but Bitcoin's for all of that.
So he's gonna get that started. I just got to figure out how do I transfer some of my Bitcoin to you guys, and that's what I'll do. But they're gonna mail me the gift card.
Okay.
But this is just the confirmation. So if for some reason you're going before the gift card comes, you should be able to use this order number.
I should just print them out myself, or
they have to mail me an actual gift card.
Okay.
So if you end up going, it should be here. They said within a week. So
okay.
Yeah, but that's what I have for you so far. That's why I wanted to put the order in. So kudos to you. Great job. Number one team sales leader with over just like $20,000, which is pretty exciting. And we also had this one here. This was hot because Savi was leading this the entire campaign. He had 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and then Cassie came in with 2 friends the last week, which was pretty hot. And that was who? Cody and Brandon, right? Or Cody and who? Oh, Mark. Cody and Mark. So those 2 guys. And then you have Jose. And then who's the other one? Oh, the other Cody. That's right. So those are your 4 friends that you recruited to the team. And so it was a tiebreaker. Savi had 4. Cassie had 4. So what was the tiebreaker? It was sales and Cassie's team. So you people sold like $800 more than Savi's team. So you won. You won. So it's kind of cool. Is she got a chance to pick whatever she wants. What do you think she picked?
MK. It's gotta be jet ski then.
She picked jet ski for 2.
Hey.
So 2 60-minute sessions. What's kind of cool is I didn't know this when I booked it, but you can actually bring so it's 2 jet skis and you can put 2 other people on the jet skis. So and she also has a chance to use the Marriott over there. So pretty exciting stuff. So kudos to you. This is the gift certificate. Don't lose this. This is the actual gift certificate. That's how you'll be able to use it whenever you're ready. So what is it? Oh, Sankey? Sankey Marriott. That's where it's at. So pretty exciting stuff. So let's give these 2 big round of applause. Great job. Very exciting stuff. So why this is important, especially the team building aspect, is what we do matters. See, what we do matters. The first thing I want you to write down, or next thing I want you to write down, I want you to write this down. I want you to write down character versus comfort. Character versus comfort. Character versus comfort. I was listening to a bunch of podcasts. I've been doing a lot of driving around those last couple of days. For you guys that are following me on Snapchat, I've been driving I'm doing my campaign right now. I'm like a politician campaigning to each of the schools to start their recruiting frenzy of recruiting all the students. I told you I was going to be doing that. I started that this week. And I'm doing the public schools this week. And then I know private schools have spring break, or Surecrest starts spring break next week. But I'm going to be doing my campaigning for them. It's going to be exciting. But I listened to this podcast, and this guy talked about character versus comfort. That's also where I found that one that I shared with you guys for Alex Sheet. Character versus comfort. And what he talked about is that most millennials, specifically you guys, Gen Zs, you have learned from your siblings and from the Gen Ys that comfort doesn't serve you. Because the comfortable aspect of life of what most of the older siblings did is they went to high school, or they went to middle school, went to high school, and then they went to college because that was the flow that they were in. They went to college, they got their degree, and then they didn't have a plan on what was after that. So instead of challenging themselves earlier in their teen age years where you guys are, of challenging themselves to challenge them of figuring stuff out sooner, they didn't. They thought they were going to have jobs lined up for them right after college, and it wasn't the case. And a lot of times they move back home. And now they're in this situation where they're, in some cases, stuck. So we talked about that doing the tough things to challenge your character at your chapter of life is probably the most important thing that you can do right now, including, this is what they said, including the education. including what your academics will bring you, is to strengthen your character. So what I want you to do on your sheet of paper real quick, I want you to write a list of as many things that you could think of right now that could strengthen your character. Where does strengthening character come from? I'll give you a couple of examples of a few of this. These are some of the things that this guy talked about. And strengthening character comes from doing things that are challenging, the challenging decisions. So how do you strengthen your character? You make challenging decisions. So what are some challenging decisions that you can make, big or small, on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis that can help you strengthen your character, all said differently, to avoid comfort? What are some things? I'll give you like 30 seconds to make your list of all the things that you could think about, and then we'll do a quick discussion. The guy who I'll get the podcast, but the guy who talked about this, he's written several books. At some point in time, he was like 300 pounds, and he was just settling for comfort in his life. Got into a car accident and died at the scene, and was revitalized. And then he said, "Oh my gosh, I got to do something different with my life." And he said, "I've been settling for comfort my whole life. I got to do things that are tough." So he started losing weight. That was tough. He started changing just his habits of way he treated people. That was tough for him. He went through this whole list. And I'm sure you guys have a whole list too. And one of the concepts he talked about is that life is like a heartbeat monitor. You ever see those heartbeat monitors are constantly up and down? He said, what happens when it's a flat line?
You're dead.
You're dead. So if you're not constantly going up and down with challenges and peaks and valleys in your life, and if it's flat and if it's a plateau, essentially you're comfortable, aka your goals are dead. There should always be a peak or a valley that you're in. You should never be anywhere in between. If you're in between, get out of there as fast as possible. That's essentially what he's saying. And how do you get to a peak? You got to go through the valley to get to the peak typically, because you got to challenge yourself. It's kind of what he talked about. So what are some things that you guys came up with? Let's raise your hand. Let's get like 4 or 5, maybe 4 or 5, and then we'll see if you guys can add your list. So we'll go. Cassie has one. We'll start with you, and then raise your hands, and I'll call on you. Boom, boom, boom. Random acts of kindness. Love that. Hold the door for strangers. Give compliments to strangers. It strengthens your character. Uncomfortable. Using the L word is uncomfortable sometimes, right? It's a random act of kindness. Saying I love you. I hate to say it's recorded. Dylan and I went to a concert last night. It was awesome. And we went to a concert, and I've said it to Dylan before. I said, dude, you're like a brother to me. I freaking love you. I appreciate you in my life. And last night was like, we had this a bro bonding moment.
Like a bro date.
Like a bro date. Like it was a bromance. And we had this moment, and I wanted to say it. I wanted to say it again, and I caught myself not. I caught myself not saying I love you, even though I wanted to. It was really interesting. Super weird. Because I just wasn't ready to be vulnerable at that moment in time like I was before. Very interesting. But that's a random act of kindness. Can come from acts, but also words. Love that. And who else has another one? Give me like 3 or 4 more. We'll go. RJ, give me one.
Well, something that's like I've done that already has kind of paid off. Sort of like for the peak. Basically, a couple months ago, I started volunteering at a place called Park, and it was like something. It was challenging because I had stuff that I had to do to get done, but I was going there anyways to volunteer with. It's like for people with special needs and different things like that. And already I'm being awarded this award at their award ceremony for the organization for my service there, which I think is pretty cool. And it was kind of challenging. I had to take out hours upon hours of my summer in the months of school, but now I'm at the peak.
Love that. I love that. So volunteering your time, helping other people. Give me 2 or 3 more. 2 or 3 more. What are some other ways to strengthen your character? Please, Alex.
Setting higher sales goals or setting more demo goals.
Simple. You can do that with business, right? You can do that with the business. You can just set higher goals and make the agreement with yourself. That's why I love that video I shared with you guys, right? Well, because I said I would. Mm-hmm. You set a higher goal, and then you say, all right, I'm going to do it because I said I would. And strengthen your character with your word, right? Love that. Blake, you had your hand up? Please, share, open.
Realizing, you can't do something, but still trying your best at it.
Even if I can't do something, I'm still going to attempt it. Just attempting tough. Even if you're not talented at the team, whatever sport, still try out. Even if the pretty girl's not going to say yes, still ask her out. Even if the cute boy, right? Whatever it is, right? Still ask him out. Go for it. Why not? I'll give you a even in this room, Ryan already has a good swing in golf. But the challenge is to make the swing better. So she to go back to a new swing. That's a challenge. That strengthens the character. What strengthens the character is when you start doing worse at the sport that you're already good at, just to get better, right? Changing your form, strengthen your character. Picking up the phone when you don't feel like it, that strengthens your character. Doing the tough thing, it's worth it. It is 100% worth it. So I just want you to think about that before I transition. Well, our mission as an office is we want to help young people strengthen their character through this Cutco brand. You think you're here to sell knives, you're not. You're here for the experience that it brings you. And many of you signed up for that experience. But when the experience comes, we want comfort. Many of you, it's like, oh, that call that you're uncomfortable calling, we call someone else instead. Don't avoid that. That's why you're doing this, right? That moment where the customer says no 3 or 4 times, you're like, shoot, I don't want to be pushy, but I know she really likes this stuff. How do I help her? How do I maneuver my way to help her say yes? That's uncomfortable, but it's the only way you're going to serve that customer. Risk the rejection, risk the vulnerability. Go for it. We're building something outstanding here, something extremely special. And I want to play a video for you, just kind of expand on that. I got to just do a screen share. All right, this, boom, let's share this. All right, so this video will encompass what we're building and why Cassie and Mason as team builders, as our top team builders, really made a huge difference and a huge impact on many people's lives. But this is what it's going to look like in a couple of weeks from now. Direct your attention to the screen. This was the #1 team in Vector for a very long time. Write this name down. Peter Voogd. V-O-O-G-D. V-O-O-G-D.
You're going to have to cut Michael Jordan's heart out to be.
Man.
I'm bad, I'm pretty, and can't compliment you.
Love that quote. Love that quote too. Waste your time looking at somebody else's lives. That's his team. That's our team this summer. That's what we're building towards. You have an experience this summer. Let me give you a glimpse of what season looks like. This is why we're promoting 15 managers. This is why team building is critical. That's a team meeting. $100,000 when we push, $234,000 SC1. We did that SE2. 13 weeks over 40 grand. 750K summer. These are our goals. Look at that crew.
With another six-figure report. And on top of the Vector Universe, I just wanted to reach out again to say congratulations to you, my friend. Awesome leadership. What a great team you have. And just really excited to see the way things continue to progress in Tacoma.
That's a staff. When you have a team of leaders.
For so long, I've seen so many top managers and so many great offices, and there's nothing quite like Tacoma. Tacoma Dynasty and the leadership here, Boom. What you guys are doing and creating is on a different level. I'm just excited to see what you guys are creating in the future because there is no limit to what Tacoma Dynasty
Standing room only, baby.
Company this year. What I think is powerful with some of these young kids is they're not even doing it for money. You're about people, you're about passion and you have a purpose to give your best and the best you can be. And money's gonna come anyways.
$1 million summer, baby. That's the goal. $2 million district team. That's our goal. And then he lists off all of his staff. I want to start with this, or this transition, because this guy right here, that name I had you write down, he runs what is called the Game Changer Academy. He has a book that's called 6 Months to Six Figures, and he has an entire movement he's created since he's moved on from Vector, where he gets paid somewhere in the neighborhood of $20,000 to give a speech at certain meetings. People pay him now. Pay him somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,000 an hour just to get an hour of his time to coach with him. He does mastermind groups. The guy is making, his business is making $1 million a year. And he started from scratch once he moved on from Vector. That's what he had. That's what he built. You want to be a part of something absolutely incredible? You're in the place to do it. You can make an impact on people's lives while growing yourself, but we've got to grow into leaders. We cannot settle for comfort. You think you're selling knives. You're growing into a better version of you. That's what we're doing. Why do you come Wednesday nights? You could be getting high, drunk, or late, or all three at the same time right now. Why are you here? It's because you want to grow into become a better you. That's why you're here. You could be playing video games right now. Why are you here? Because you want to become a better you. That's why you're here right now. And I want to challenge you to not settle for easy. Not settle for comfort. Increase your character. Strengthen your commitments. And find your truth. And reveal your truth while you're working with this great company. We have some awesome team builders that are getting things done. Zach Schachter right now and Ella Blaisdell, believe it or not. Those two, they have 3 friends that have completed training and started working with us, which means they're starting to be eligible. Once you have 3 friends complete training, once they sell $1,000 each, you become eligible for a team builder scholarship. So as soon as your friends get over $1,000, boom, you're going to jump up in here. So right now, we have Ella and Zach both have 3 friends that sold over $1,000. Zach is currently the number 2 team builder in the entire region and top 5 in the country right now. Ella, you're at like number 11, believe it or not. Pretty exciting stuff.
So who gets a scholarship is the top?
Just the rep. So like Jesse Fox got like a $250 scholarship this summer for being a top team builder. Something like that, $250, $500. I don't remember what it was. I think it was 3. I think he was number 2. He had number 2, so he got a $300 scholarship. Pretty exciting. Pretty exciting stuff. So upcoming events, get out your calendars or wherever you keep important dates. Let's go ahead and rapid fire through some of these. So first thing is first, March Madness. March Madness started. It started yesterday. So right now we got some head-to-head competition going, which is pretty exciting. You guys saw the bracket. I decided to be inclusive. I decided to put everyone who is an active game changer who has a sample kit on this. That is who's competing right now head-to-head. And if they're lazy or lame, well, you get a competitive advantage, which is exciting. So for the top 4, which is Dylan, RJ Mason, and Matt, you guys have first round bye weeks this week. You guys have automatic make it to the next round. So the final Elite 8 will get $50 in free cut code of your choice. Final 4 gets $100 in Cutco. Final 2 get $150 in Cutco or a massage, your choice. And the number 1 person, them and their team that got them there, will go on a VIP night. So for you, if you win, then it would be you and your 2 buddies will be Luke and Damien. If you win, then it would be you and all of your 4 friends that you recommended to the job. Make sense? And I'll take all of you guys out for an awesome VIP night. If it's just one person, so like say whoever's a solo artist, if Saf wins, solo artist, dude, we're about to ball out, man. It's gonna be awesome. So it'll be a fun night for sure. So pretty exciting stuff. So this week right now, so in the room, we got a couple of you guys like Ryan. You're going up against Mike Rowland. So Mike is he's sick. He didn't go to school today. So I was like, we don't want you here. So he's I think he's on the video right now. But hey, the kid's doing well. He's at $3,800 last couple of weeks. So pretty exciting little competition there. We got Mike Scott going against Blake. So Blake and Mike Scott, that's healthy competition. Both do it right around. You see Mike Scott's at 4,300, but Blake is coming in strong with his fast start right now. We got Amanda and Brandon. Amanda's already had a sale this week, so pretty exciting. Kind of cool to see what happens there. We got Saf. You're going against Will Lovelace. Now Will hasn't sold anything all campaign, so I think he's at like $30. So Will, who's watching right now, maybe he'll sell this week. Maybe we'll motivate him so that way the junior doesn't beat him. Maybe not. So we'll see. We got Cassie going up against Cody. So that's your PR. Pretty exciting. So that's where the bracket started. So I don't know if you want to let your boy beat you, but he might. He has a bunch of appointments. We'll see. Jose, you're going up against Tyler, dude. That's a good head-to-head combo right there. He hasn't done much in the last couple of weeks. That would be an upset of the week. I would love to see that. Make that happen. Ella going up against Brenda. Brenda just booked up an appointment, so watch out. Pretty exciting stuff. So that's your bracket, and I posted that on the Game Changers group. So check that out if you guys are competitive. If not, no big deal. It's all for the fun of it, fun of the game. Make it enjoyable. So check that out. I also want to recognize RJ for being the first person to submit his assistant manager application. Even though the deadline is on Sunday at 5, he's already submitted his AM application, and everything looks pretty sweet so far. I'll challenge on a couple of things like your SE1 and SE2 push goals, but other than that, everything looked pretty good so far. Very exciting stuff. I want to recognize, if you look at the candidates right now, Ryan is a candidate over $5,000, top 7 in the office. RJ's a candidate or just right at $10,000 for the office. Mason's a candidate, $22,000 in the office. And then the rest we have are from summer, which is Jesse Fox and Taylor DeGear, a couple of our top guys from past summer. I'm looking to bring on, I would say 4, maybe 5, but probably going to be 4. We have Will and Chelsea pretty much locked in at this point in time. And then we have our branch managers with Amanda and Ella, along with Dalila and Zach. And then we have Tyler. I mean, our district team is freaking stacked. We can have a video just like that 1 year from today. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. There's no doubt about it. So if you're interested in an application, make sure you apply by Sunday, March 11th at 5 p.m. Also, next thing I want you to write down is March 28th. It's a Wednesday night, March 28th, Wednesday night. You want to make sure you guys are ready for that. Mr. Gambo is coming to town. That meeting is going to be held at the Ramada in Tampa. So it's not going to be here. We're going to be going to Tampa, the Ramada, and we're renting out a conference room space because we're doing a full the entire Tampa Bay area is going to be in one hotel doing our team meeting there. It's going to be a big phone jam. It's going to be awesome. So mark your calendars for March 28th. The next thing I want you guys to write down is, let's see. So that's that. That's fine. We'll keep it at that for right now. And PB&J March 18th, just so you guys know. We have AM training starts March 20th for those of you that are accepted. We have that. All right. Last thing before I start winding up, we talked about spring break versus spring bank. Many of you guys are on spring break right now. I know Amanda and Ella are. I know Shorecrest goes into spring break next week. A couple of public schools go into spring break at the end of this month. I know Ryan's on spring break right now. She has 5 appointments ahead of her. I mean, that bottom line is it's your choice. Your choice. It's your schedule. You're the boss. But bless you, what would you think about a business that has available time and closes their business down, man, I just don't think it's a smart business decision. I highly recommend doing what Ryan is doing. Ryan is having a vacation, but also doing 2 days of blitz to do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 appointments in a day, 2 times during the whole week, and then she can enjoy the rest of her time with her friends. Do what you got to do, but I highly encourage you to go for it. Why? Because those habits are going to help you get to Dirty 30 as fast as possible. Last week, I had many of you send your Dirty 30 birthday. I have it saved now. Now there's accountability. Dude, when was your day?
It was Sunday, and I was 80.
You set us. You
I set a same day appointment.
Did you say? I thought you said in the WhatsApp 50 CPO away.
Yeah, it was like 80 CPO away.
When did you say you were going to hit it? When did you send me that?
That day. I sent you that I would hit it on the day that I sold the galley. I was 82 away, and I set up the same day, and it ended
not good. Not good. Liar. But we have a couple people that March, end of March, end of April, end of May. I love that. For those of you guys that are new, pick a date. When you get to 30% commissions, you never worry about money again. You make a phone call, you pick up the phone, you dial the numbers, you book up the appointment, you sell the knives, and you make 30%. That's crazy. You sold $250 today, you make $750. Or no, just make $75. That'd be incredible. $338. You make $100. You guys bought it is crazy. Crazy. You got to get to 30. You got to get to Dirty 30. So just to kind of close things out.
I grew up in Port-au-Prince.
I want to show you another
I moved
Be Yourself video.
I was 19 years old to go to college. After my dad passed away 3 years ago, I felt the responsibility of continuing his work and his mission of helping the poor people, the ones that need, the ones that have no hope. I heard about the earthquake when I was right at home. It was very shocking. I couldn't believe it at first. I lost a lot of friends. 3 of my cousins died behind a wall. Angela Wing was actually a nonprofit organization that was founded by my #1 Cutco customer. Our first visit was in March 2010, and we were 6 Cutco CSPs, professionals, that went down to Haiti. And when we got there, we were so shocked by everything that was going on. Even me growing up in Haiti, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. All the destruction and the poverty had multiplied, and the people living in tent cities and hungry and thirsty mostly. We decided to build a mini hospital, which is the medical clinic. So I have enjoyed the support of Vector immediately after the earthquake, where they donated $25,000. I found a great family here that always encouraged giving back and helping others through mentoring, through managing and developing people. My name is Andy Janti, and I sell knives.
And the reason why I love this campaign is because we're not looking for salespeople. We're not looking for people that want to sell knives. They want to use this as a vehicle to pursue their professional and personal dreams. So one of the things that I want to do, and why am I campaigning right now and going out to all the schools in the area, is because I want every single student to know that we exist. I'm okay not recruiting every single student in Pinellas County. I don't need them all. I want to recruit 150. I want to recruit 150 kids in the Tampa Bay area this summer. But the fact is in order for us to do that, we need them to know we exist. Or even better, I need to make sure that they're not misinformed. I want to make sure that they know that what we offer is absolutely fantastic. So I want to make sure they're not misinformed. I want to make sure they know we exist. I want to make sure that they know there are opportunities for them to pursue their personal and professional dreams here. So one of the things I'm doing is I'm hiring a social media engagement strategist. That's what we landed on. AKA Instagram and Snapchat expert. Okay. I'm campaigning this to all the schools. I've sent this out to some of our past reps. We had a think tank and a mastermind at my assistant manager meeting on Sunday, and I took massive action with this. Here's what I'm looking for, okay? Not you guys necessarily, but your friends. $10 an hour. More importantly, someone who's connected and someone who would love to help us spread the word through social media. Someone who's very, very well-to-do on the social media, big following, and would help us spread the truth and essentially the Snapchat takeovers that Amanda does. I'm looking for that, but scaled with great content, and for each school, some of our best schools in the area. You follow me? So here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for everyone to take out your phones real quick. That's going to sound weird, but here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for just a name, so I could scope them out and try to essentially let them know what I'm looking for. The name, if you had to say of the top 5 most popular kids that graduated from your school, top 5 most popular kids who graduated from your school, if you had to think about it, it could be this year, like they're about to graduate, or last year, or the year before, okay? Anywhere in the 3-year time frame, most popular kid that might be interested in getting the most ridiculous resume booster that they could possibly get. Because most big companies right now, they're run by people that are 40, 50, 60 years old. They have no idea how to do social media. And if I could give someone an opportunity to put on their resume that they were a social media intern or strategist with a multi-million-dollar marketing firm, and I give them a letter of recommendation with a LinkedIn endorsement and work directly for me, I promise you it's going to look really good. It's only a few hours a week, nothing crazy, but I at least want to send them a video. I created a video, and I want to send them this video letting them know, hey, this is what I'm looking to fill. A couple of weeks during the summer, give them a great resume booster and help them be a part of something special. If they're not interested, no big deal. But if you just send me the names, and then I'll look them, I'll find them on like Instagram, or I'll see if what they're following it looks like. I'll see if they're approachable, like what their Facebook looks like. And if I think they could be a good candidate, then I'll tell you, hey, why don't you connect us and see if they could be a good fit for this position. Fair enough. This will be a direct employee of my LLC, which is CW Game Changers LLC. I would say your top 5 most popular kids that you say, these are stand-up kids. Not to sell knives. I am not recruiting them to sell knives. I'm recruiting them and it's not even recruiting. I am hiring these people a contracted paycheck, hourly employee of me and of my LLC here. You guys follow me? Just someone that would be excited to help us really increase our social media presence. Questions?
Yeah, would the person come in here and do all the social media stuff, or could they do it from their own house?
They could do it from their own house. I'm going to have videos for them, but at the same time, I need to make sure that I do like some sort of training with them.
Yeah.
But it's all social media. I totally be open to them not having coming here all the time.
Okay.
Unless, actually, I take that back. I would be paying for their gas to come up here during functions, meaning
like this,
like team meetings to do like an hour of like social media, like interviewing some candidates and stuff like that, and getting content out there.
Okay.
Training seminars. So probably 2 to 3 times a week I would have them come out here, but I would compensate them for gas, for travel.
And how old do they have to be to do this?
It's a senior this year, last year, or the year before that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't want juniors. I want someone who's graduating this year or last year or the year before. So they'd be either 18, 19, 20, something like that.
What about if they're doing like early college or something like that? So they're like
Probably the coolest kid in town.
I'd be open to it as long as they have a good following. If they have a good presence and a good following, I'd be open to it. I need to know that they've proven themselves, like they know what they're doing on social media before I hire them.
Okay.
Yeah. So just send me names. Like I said, I'll look them up. I'll see. I'm not like reaching out to them. I just want to see if they have a good following. And then, if I want to pursue them, then I'll let you know. You can make the connection for us and we can kind of go from there. And maybe I'll give you a kickback or something for helping you find someone who's talented, something like that. But that's what we're looking to do. We want to get, I'm going through the schools anyway, but I'd like to get the social media aspect. And I think that a good person can help us do that. So that's that, boom. So the last thing I want you to write down, just because I think it's important for you to write this down and have it, is it's easier to leave than learn. It goes back to what we were talking about before, but I want to make sure you write that down. Easier to leave than to learn. It's easier to leave than to learn. It's easier to leave a problem than to learn from it. It's easier to leave a relationship than learn from it. That's why our divorce rate's 40 to 50%. It's easier to leave than learn. People quit jobs instead of learning how to overcome the challenge and the obstacle. So going back to what we talked about earlier, challenge the character and avoid comfort, but really push yourself forward. So let's go into Game Changers group. Post your biggest light bulbs from tonight, just to save us a little time instead of going around the horn. And biggest light bulbs from tonight that you guys have. Does anybody need? Oh, I need raffle tickets for who? Who do I raffle tickets to? Anybody else? Focus 500 raffle tickets I need to give away. Get you guys in that. I owe.
Those are the same prizes for.
Yep, same thing. So RJ, you get one for Focus 500. So that's you. And then Mason, you get 4. So if anyone else gets 1. Not in attendance, not in attendance. Blake, you get 1. Cool. So put your initials on that. And then Mason, you get 4. So what we're going to do is for this raffle, since we didn't hit our number, is going to be for it's going to be for the cup. However, if you want to trade the cup in for 1 toss at the cornhole, if you make it in the hole, then I'll give you the engraved slice and serve. If you miss the hole, then you get nothing. I'm keeping my cup.
Wait, where's the cup?
The Vector cup? It's just a cup. It's over on the trophy.
I'm thinking
board.
2
Cool.
shots in a row is a cleaver.
And if you want to trade, but if you make the first shot,
oh, and then you get it.
If you make the first shot, you make it, then I'll let you trade the slice and serve in for 1 more shot, double or nothing for a cleaver. I know. Makes it fun. So with that being said, post your biggest light bulb in the Game Changers group, please. Biggest light bulb from tonight. Maybe 2 takeaways, maybe 3 biggest takeaways from tonight. And the winner of a brand new Vector Cup is RJ. Now, do you want to trade your cup in for a shot at the slice and serve, or do you want to keep the cup?
Trade it.
Guaranteed cup or
guaranteed. You have cups at
home. Or a chance.
Get a slicer.
Or a chance.
I have cups. I gotta go for it. And also, there's people want me to do.
So real quick.
It's only character.
Step out of your comfort zone.
So we'll do this next door. Make sure before you guys leave, you push your light bulbs. Check out with your coach, so that way you can set up a coaching call with your coach tomorrow, and then making sure that if there's anything I can do to support you. I'll wrap up with this. I appreciate you guys. I really do. I know I'm a tough coach sometimes. I know sometimes I don't really talk to you guys much besides Wednesday night. So I really thank you. What you're doing is commendable, and it's worth it. So I just want to tell you, you're in the right place. You're in the right organization. You're with the right leadership, and I appreciate all of you guys. I really do. So if you guys want to do some karaoke, I'm down. It's right up the road, 60-cent wings or whatever it is, 70-cent wings. So if you guys want to do that, that'd be great. If you can put your chairs, you can stack them up. That'd be awesome. Just check out with your coach and arrange a time for you guys to do your coaching conversation tomorrow. For your time, your effort, and your energy. And we are done.